Hey y'all, welcome back to Ascending with Ashley. I'm Ashley. Today, this is a daily decolonizing, and today we're going to be talking about pollution and climate change, as you already know if you clicked on this video. But, I think that, I think a lot of people can probably feel like, what's the point at this point? But, you know, everything is healable, including ourselves and the planet. And I truly believe that before we talk about the problems in this like theme or subject, um, we can talk about the solutions. And there are people all over this planet who have created sustainable practices and products and machines and protocols that can help save the planet in the sense of pollution and climate change. The problem lies with the powers that be abusing all of us, including the planet, over extraction, slavery, the condition of the human spirit. Now, when people are being treated, we are all connected to the planet. We are all alive. The trees and our lungs and our nervous system and the veins and the way that they look, the wrinkles and what are these? Our fingerprints and a tree ring. Like, we are all connected. We are a part of nature, but this system has encouraged us to disconnect from that. Now, over on my channel, my logo or slogan is not my logo, my slogan is healing through reconnection to the self, the collective, and the natural world. So I just want to put this out here. We are all here. There are tons of people who are currently in the process of practicing things to create a better world. Now, while we are doing that, yes, the systems that be are continuing to drill, continuing to approve these data centers, build these data centers, take our water, pollute the water, pollute the air. It's causing natural disasters. The earth is fighting back with extreme weather. Um, some of which I do believe is engineered through control, but also a lot of it, there are things that these powers that be do not have control over when it comes to the earth, and she is fighting back in those ways, right? The tools and practices of these barbaric systems and corporations have nothing on the planet Earth itself, right? So, I wanted to say that. Right, so corporations, practices, and policies. Example of Walmart, Amazon paper. Oh, that's a great, right here. All of this paper, right here, all of this rolled recycled paper has been sent in packages. Yes, I buy a lot of stuff, okay? But also the paper that now I'm very rare. I save it because it's a great material for the artwork I do. But most people don't. Now, paper comes from trees, right? On this card, I also have hemp can save the world. Bamboo, I think bamboo is not great, but I think as a fiber, if you could figure out a way to control the growth, I mean, it's obviously native to some parts of the earth. But hemp is much faster growing. Obviously, it has medicinal benefits. Your girl included. I love that one. Anyway, but hemp itself as a plant is much faster growing. It's much easier to. It's much lusher, and you can use the fibers the same in the same ways that we created the paper products. Now, the paper products I've learned were created by a white man. Go figure. The to cut down trees. Now, the things that were living in it, like, think about the Industrial Revolution, friends. Like, the Industrial Revolution was at, like, what, the turn of the 19th century? It was not that long ago. We just got into the 20th century, right? Like, that wasn't that long ago. So, like, like it's long for us as humans because we can't conceive more than, a normal lifespan for humans. But there are things that's lives are longer than humans, okay? The land, rocks, trees. I live in the area or the part of the country that has the petrified forest. it is high desert now, and now they're building data centers here. So the water, there's no water here. um, if it is, it's deep in the aquifers, right? Like at least 30 to 40 feet down in this desert. Anyway, all of that to say, I don't know. It's overwhelming. It's hard for us to conceive of the time frame of the impact that short time has made. And now it feels like, as we are living through it, that it is like total domination, right? I mean, at least for me, I've been giving I remember giving projects or presentations about climate change back in my undergrad, which was 2006 to 2009. It was before I got locked up and had to finish. It was the first time I went to college. I remember I was circulating petitions to save the polar bears. So that was almost 20 years ago. Wow. That was 20 fucking that was 20 years ago. So it was a problem then, and it wasn't like a problem that we were all experiencing at that point in time. I remember like specifically the first page of my well, maybe it wasn't the first page, but one of the pages of my PowerPoint I remember was a melting ice cream cone, but it was like a cartoon ice cream cone. It had like a face. I remember that. So like the melting ice cream had a face, and I was like, oh no, and the cone was like up facing. I remember that image. But now we're all living through it, and people still don't give a fuck. So, all right, yay. We made a lot of progress. I mean, 20 years, I mean, that's a fifth of, I mean, we could have made a lot of change in that time, is what I'm, like, we could have avoided getting to this point if more people would have cared. I think apathy is one of the big things with all the problems. I think people are comfortable enough, just self-centered enough to not care. I think a lot of that is because of the way that consumerism has driven our lives. Consumer-driven lives, right? I have plastic, oil, and water. So, as like a triad, like think of the recycle symbol, or like the trilogy or whatever. What is that? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, plastic is made from oil, and oil pollutes water. Plastic is also littering all of the water sources. So plastic and oil they make each other, right? Like oil, well, they don't make each other. Oil is needed to make plastic, both of which pollute water, okay? We need water. We cannot live without water. Water is an essential need for us, for plants. That's about it. Water is what we need. So with the amount of pollution we are seeing and experiencing, I just saw this, I think it might still be in my stories, I hope it is, on Instagram. It was crazy. I've never seen something like this, and I've never heard of this area. I don't think it's there anymore. Damn. Hang on. Let me see if I can find it. I don't remember where that was. No. It was like this red sludge. And, oh yeah, it was in India. And it said that it was like acid burning people's skin. Like that was the water. Like the water had been polluted to be this, like it was thick red stuff. God, I don't know where it went. Let me see if I saved it, because I was very intrigued by it. I know I'm all over the place a little bit. I don't know how to use Instagram like at all. Where do I find saved? I don't know. it was really powerful. It was in my how do you look at your own posting in here? Or is that just something AI and Mark Zuckerberg can have access to? Anyway, I think that people have a hard time, especially as American folk or Western culture people, people who live in um, the rich countries. I mean, just the countries that have, billionaires and slaves and shit. I don't remember where I was going with that thought. I really wish I could find this. Okay, next is fast fashion or clothing, fast fashion and clothing. And the pollution from that. I mean, well, let me try and use Google for that red stuff. That red water. Acid polluted water in India. You guys, it was a crazy image. Like, I can't get it out of my mind. Videos. Never gonna see that image again. So fast fashion, let me Google that. I mean, you guys have access to Google too, of course, but fast fashion is, like everything in the stores. Slave labor is still very much used. I think that this country has definitely, what was I saying earlier about, I think, this country just, Western Western societies, are individualistic societies, which means, whereas a lot of Eastern, like in Asia, Japan, Africa, a lot, and I mean, it's really indigenous ways of life, are collectivist, and Western civilization, colonization, capitalism, Jesus, imperialism, all of that has turned what should be collectivist ways of living, right? Indigenous ways of life, living in a village, living in small community, and everyone having a role or two or three, right? The Western civilization has completely made it normalized to be self-serving, individualized. The nuclear family is like a project of colonialism. Oh, there's red water. Ew, it looks like blood. Okay, I'm gonna show you these. Hopefully you can see. That is fast. I typed in fast fashion pollution. I made a workbook for this course. Well, not really. I made the layout. I haven't put any content or like stuff in it yet. I'm making the videos first, which is a horrible idea, obviously. But anyway, if you're here and you're keeping up, I appreciate you. You're great. The background of the workbook I made, I can show you, is piles and piles and piles. Like, it looks like a mountain of pollution. That is the background. I can move the words. I don't want to do that. Maybe I can. Here, let me duplicate the page. I'm really proud of this workbook. It's not done. I have the definitions and I have the titles in, but I haven't put any other shit in. I want to show you the notes page, though. It's super cute. That's the notes page. A bunch of ripped paper. I'm super into ripped paper on Canva. Anyway, let me see. Let me go to the end and try to duplicate this, and I'll delete. Because there's two people in the middle of this picture, and I think that gives a lot of scale. That's why I'm going to the extent that I am to show you. It's a lot easier than trying to find the same fucking picture. So let me just delete all this shit out of the way. There are two people in this picture. Right here? Oh, where's that good I don't have a good pointer. I don't know if you can see them. There's a little person here, right here, and then there's someone sitting right there. And around, like, that is all trash, okay? I see tires. No, maybe not. It's just trash. And that's the amount that fast fashion has created, okay? When people don't, it's this trendy buying. It's buying from these companies that are sending their labor to other countries, right? I mean, the whole world is so out of whack. And decolonizing consumerism, I mean, it's important to consider labor and the way that human beings are treated and the way that they have to work, or slave, being enslaved, how that is connected to climate change, because everything is connected. How it's related to pollution and how the workers of the world are living in these kinds of conditions, when there are people with trillions of dollars. I just read all of these responses in the video before this one, that the students wrote for some prompts that I asked about world peace, and one of them said everyone having the equal money. And I think that was so profound, and I'm really happy that that was a response. But I mean, what are we doing? Money isn't even real. Nature is real. The animals are real. We are very real. The way we feel, the way we want to exist, the way we want to have enjoyment and love. And, people don't want to be bogged down by this shit. They pretend they do, or maybe they do to a certain degree because they've been encouraged to do that. They've been forced into that thinking through so many different means of indoctrination. Yes, it's all connected. And now we are all actively participating in pollution and climate change against our will, against our better judgment of knowing that's not how we are meant to survive. In fact, we won't be able to survive if this doesn't stop. And hello, let's keep it real. It's not stopping unless we put a stop to it. These administrations at this point in time are completely out of control. They want a metal planet. They want AI. They want this planet to turn into some glass fucking project. They want to eliminate humans as we should be. We are evolving into an organized technocratic state at a global scale. Do you guys not see that? They are ruining everything, polluting everything. If we're robots, we don't need natural resources. They can use us for labor or whatever they want. And I think it's crazy that we're not stopping it. We're just being like, oh my god, another fire. Oh wow, that's a huge tornado. Has there ever been a tornado in that part of the country? Right? Oh wow, that hurricane. Oh wow. Okay, and then what's next? Oh, what did the people wear to the Met Gala? If you haven't watched Hunger Games, I highly recommend it. If you are unable to grasp the concept of wealth inequality, that's a great place to start. It's not the person who wrote Hunger Games, from what I've heard, wrote it about Afghanistan and Iraq because of what they saw. They modeled the Hunger Games after real life child sacrifice, and with everything coming out with the Epstein, these people are eating babies. Not only they're raping, taking their teeth out. I mean, what are we doing? I know we always get back here anytime we have decolonizing consumerism, because consumerism is a tool that the elite use to keep you participating. You're forced to consume. We have to buy everything that we need as humans. Who made that system? Why are we participating? And then the things that we buy and spend money on have expiration dates, and then they end up as trash, and then that ends up in someone's fucking home, and then it ends up as a cover of a workbook to even have these conversations and use a shock value of the reality that we don't see because they don't want us to see. I have greenhouse gases in the ozone layer. I mean, now everyone's talking about flat earth, so I think people think that the ozone layer is a firmament, right? I don't know. And then I have human labor, human impact. We already talked about that. I still have notes on the back. Natural disasters, we already talked about that. Fires, floods, hurricanes, tornadoes, storms. The polar bears, mentioned that. Earthquakes, natural waters, fast pace, yeah. Wildlife, trees, habitats, and oceans, all connected. Wildlife, trees, habitats, and oceans. Everything is, if it's not the trees being cut down, people, the animals are losing their habitats, both on land and in water because of the plastic, right? All of this is connected. If they didn't need to extract resources using slave labor and displacing people, I mean, it's all practices of colonization, and it's at a global scale. And we're encroaching it on the I think we're balls deep in World War III, but I think World War III, and I mean now there's like another pandemic. I'm just like, oh, I'm so tired. And I think that's the thing. Fatigue is so encouraged. They don't want you to be have enough energy to fight back or do anything about anything. They just need you to have enough energy to believe in that myth of convenience, which was the last time we did this video or this series. The myth of convenience. They want you to have just enough money to buy something at one of their corporations because you absolutely need it to survive. That is our quality of life. And if you have a lot more money, then you are participating at a greater scale. It's what it is at the bones. You're just, few layers more. You get to go to different corporations and support them. But you're still giving your money back to them, no matter what you do. The entire planet has been monopolized. Hello, we are here. Yeah, the fast pace, and then I'll end it up. I really wish I had that image. So it was like this, it was crazy. It was like a pipe, and it was like this red sludge, like waterfall, and like the camera was placed here. And it was like thick. Like it was thicker than like soda. It was like it looked like, it looked like, when people do clay, when they make clay and they have that slip stuff. It was like that kind of consistency, like a pretty watery, but like it looked thick, red, and it's burning off people's skin. Awesome. But like how dystopian, I feel like they're making the earth so inhabitable that we are forced to do the microchip. And I don't care if you call me a conspiracy. I see the pattern. Like at this point, what are you not seeing? So now they're like circulating another pandemic to, take out another million or few people. And then whoever's left, they're going to keep making it's going to be we're not going to be able to live on this planet. We're not going to be able to survive. People don't have water, like, no, and they're building more and more and more and more data centers. What are we doing? It's too fast. People are overwhelmed again. Overwhelm is a tool of the oppressors. But I think the main thing is like pick up some fucking litter. I think when we talk about these topics, the thing to do is to put action behind it always. Be the change you want to see in the world. Sure, you're not going to be able to go and like solve every problem. That's what I want to talk about, though. I mentioned in the very beginning, we are all here. So there's a few things. There are companies, or there's like these boys that came up with like, there's lots of people creating stuff in their science fairs, or people doing things. And the thing is that these governments who are benefiting from the way things are, again, we just talked about the end goal. I mean, not end goal, but like transitioning the human race into at least a trans robotic race. And then from that point, eliminating humans altogether and just being like a robot planet. Like the planet is like, hello, like they put it in the movies and shit. Anyway, oh, I don't know where was I? Oh my god, guys, I'm sorry. I need to stop. Every time I look at myself, I lose my train of thought. I don't remember what I was saying. I really don't. I'm sorry. The fast pace. I don't. Oh, putting action to it. Oh, yeah, okay. Julian Brown created a machine that takes plastic waste and turns it into gasoline, and he's been touring around the country. Well, not really touring, but he's been visiting different places, trying different makes and models of cars with his plastiline. His Instagram is nature jab, and then I think there's a underscore. Please go follow him. Protect him at all costs. He is absolutely incredible, right? Like that's we need that. History has had many people who have come and created things, like the guy who created the water running car, or Tesla himself, in which Elon Musk has cashed in over $1 trillion using the brain of. That's why the cars are called Tesla. Okay, Nikola Tesla was. He created ways and means to get free energy. Okay, and these motherfuckers have capitalized it. These nerds. Anyway, uh, so think about a collaboration between the people who have created different ocean cleaning mechanisms, ways to rake and separate plastic and stuff, with like machines to do so, so that it can be done at large scales, right? One of the people in my World Peace Group, the kiddo, was talking about it. He was very passionate about the oceans being cleaned up. So think about a collaboration with him or with them. I don't know why I'm gendering. Well, I do know why. I saw one article once about these guys. It was a smaller scale, but they made this like self-rotating thing that could clean the oceans, and so they were using it in like small spaces, but like that at a large scale, right? And so a collaboration between them and Julian Brown, right? He would have enough fuel to feed the machine to make gasoline. So this problem right here, this plastic, oil, and water, we have the people on the planet who have already created the technology necessary to make that happen, but the technology is being used in nefarious ways. So all we would have to do is get a hold of the technology and make it work. Like think Wakanda, or Wakanda. Think about Black Panther and the sister who uses technology and also supports nature. Like having a balance between technology, using it to build like a rail system, public transportation, getting rid of the cars because there's public transportation. China's already doing this shit. The United States is not. But the United States is like pushing for global domination, right? The United States and Israel are not being stopped. Like it's and so we're at this point within the world where we are, yes, this is all to do with pollution and climate change. So I don't know. I mean, we can use it to better the world, better ourselves. We have to just get control of it. We have to get the power in our hands. That's it. And there's way more of us than there are of them. Holy shit. So, what are we doing? What are we waiting for? Honestly, we're about to experience another global trauma fucking experience, right? They've been setting the stage for a week and a half. What are we doing? We all have solutions to these problems. Hemp. We could plant hemp. I tried to get hemp seeds. Customs took them. Toll of life. Yeah, I mean, life toll is shorter and shorter. But again, when you have these motherfuckers in power who are really, who are like annoyed, like there's an annoyance of humanity. They want to focus on robotics, and we're letting them, and everyone's indoctrinating them into their lives like it's nothing, right? I mean, a lot of it is being forced on us, like the AI and how every app has AI. I need to add that to the list because we talked about it, but no one wrote it down. But anyway, that's what I have. It's going to continue to get worse until we decide that we don't want it to continue to get worse and we take control. We all have the ability to not only put in action to make the world a better place, but to also hold people accountable. We have action to create the things that we know we want to do. I mean, when life gets so fucking, repetitive and boring and makes you apathetic and ignorant and just, on autopilot, you're not living. You're surely not living for yourself. You are just going through the motions. A robot can do that. Why would we need you? You have human needs. Anyway, something to think about. I think we should change the world. Okay, bye. Have a good one.